here we go. We're in. We're in. Sorry about that. All right, now tell me if you see my screen this time instead of just the lead gadget icon. And I'll kind of hang loose for a minute until you guys tell me if you can see my screen instead of just the lead gadget icon. I mean. So you should be seeing the event page. Looks like someone was spamming us. It says, show comments removed as spam. I'm curious as to what they deemed was spam. Okay, cool. You guys can't see the screen. Very good. All right. So now we'll continue 30 minutes later. All right. So let me go back to, I think, the question that Ganti had about one phone number for all the states. Are other parameters to track the clicks? Any other parameters to track the clicks? Which state, which banner, and which page is bringing the clicks and conversions? Well, Ganti, this is a pay-per-call. The detox offer is pay-per-call, so clicks doesn't really matter. I mean, if you want to see where your traffic is coming from, that's where analytics comes in, and also Google Webmaster Tools, which we can talk about that briefly today as well. But as far as, it's pay-per-call, so we're not directing the clicks anywhere. So all you're trying to do is entice, get somebody to pick up the phone and call, and for this particular offer anyways. Can you control the time the ads appear, as there may not be anyone take the call if it is calls late in the night, just things like that? Thank you. Don't see any changes in the slides. Okay. As far as I don't know enough about the offer to know what I'm assuming it's a 24-hour a day, 7-day-a-week offer, right? I mean, it would make sense to do so. I'm sure they probably have a call center that takes the lead information anyways. So, but I'm not 100% sure on that, but that would be my assumption. So, as far as the ads appearing, if we take a look, let's go take a look at if you're using some sort of more sophisticated like ad plugin or something, that like an ad manager plugin, then I'm sure there are parameters for that. Again, I just want it plastered all over the place. And in fact, once I find out, if I can show you guys the like the pop-up plugins that I use, there's a million of them. In fact, JVZoo has released, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 of them in the last couple of weeks, like pop-up plugins. Any one will do. But I suggest, having something that will pop up if somebody takes an action, like scrolls down a certain amount on the page, or if they go to exit, their cursor goes to exit the browser window, then it pops up, excuse me, that's called an exit pop, something like that. Okay. You can also set up conditional pop-ups, which means like if somebody comes in on one particular landing page, it'll pop up with one thing. If they come in on another, it pops up with another message or another offer or something like that. So, I mean, there's ways that you can control that. As far as like the phone numbers, it says right there, it says 24-hour, 7-day-a-week helpline. So I figured it would be, excuse me. So I wouldn't worry about that. I would just try to get your offer plastered all over that the page itself, and run with it that way. And most of those kind of offers are going to be like that. All right, let's see if we get through all this stuff. Yeah, Sandy, by the way, I just had to reboot. I'm not sure what was going on, but the start button had disappeared and I couldn't get it to show up. Okay, cool. Well, there's no other questions. Well, then I'm just going to keep moving with what I wanted to show you guys first. And you guys just ask questions when you can. But yeah, 24/7 helpline. So that's pretty cool. That's all I would worry about. Now, again, this site hasn't been cleaned up. I just put it together 2 days ago. So like I've not connected analytics and Webmaster Tools and everything to this yet. However, that said, I do want to go back and show from last week. Remember, I had showed you guys with the wholesale.fashionbling.us website, which basically was on a .pw domain, but I found out that the .pw domain was a country-specific domain that was not the U.S., obviously. And so I was having a hard time indexing the original site, which I used as a demonstration with the first webinar with you guys. So I went ahead and bought a U.S. domain and just rebuilt the site on the U.S. domain. And I did this 7 days ago. I built this site 7 days ago before, like on Thursday, right before the webinar. And I showed you guys, I started showing you how to connect it to Webmaster Tools and analytics and everything. And I did that last week. And guys, look at this. Out of 30,095 posts submitted, in 7 days, 30,012 posts have been indexed. So that's pretty impressive. And that was with doing really nothing other than submitting my sitemaps to Google Webmaster Tools. I know that question keeps coming up in the Facebook group about indexing. Some people are like really stressing over it, and that's why I do everything with Google. I know like Don and them, they don't use Google Analytics and stuff. They use Piwik, and that's fine. Do what you want. I'm just telling you, I like to use Google's tools because I want everything to get indexed, and this is one way to get them indexed is to add it to Webmaster Tools. However, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I'll probably repeat it many times over while I'm training you guys, and that's do not put more than just a couple sites, maybe 3 to 5 sites tops in any one Webmaster Tools account, because you don't want to have all of your eggs in one basket, especially with these kind of sites. So you want to spread them out. I happen to have hundreds of persona accounts, so I can spread them out, and you guys can do the same as well, and I would suggest that you do. So that said, it's really interesting, but you can see how many posts have been indexed. There's also something now, because this site is so new, it hasn't had time to really start collecting data on keywords. So it's going to be kind of poor what I want to show you right here. It's going to be a kind of a poor example. But one way that you can determine which keywords or which pages are ranked, okay, because I know the questions come in about, well, how do you track it? There's 2 ways. Number one, Google Analytics or Piwik, any sort of analytics tracking. You can check to see where traffic is coming from, and then figure out what, from your analytics program, you can determine which pages people were coming in on. So obviously any page that people were coming in on, most likely it's because it's been ranked, right? So then you can go investigate those pages individually to see where they are ranked and that sort of thing. That's one way to do it. The other way is with Google Webmaster Tools. If you come over to just go to dashboard and you click on search queries right here, you'll see, and again, this is a brand new site. It's like 7 days old, so it hasn't had a chance to really start collecting impressions. But this is where you will see impressions, and you'll see probably by next week we'll have data here. And the impressions will show the query that the site was displayed for, okay? And then over here, it'll show your average position. So for example, if it's, wholesale jewelry in Tampa, Florida, for example, if somebody searched that and the site shows up anywhere in the top, as long as Google shows one of the pages from the site for that search query, it doesn't matter where it is in the SERPs, it will show it. So another way for me to explain this is if you sort by average position, once you have some data here, then you can, if you sort by average position, you can show the top pages and those top search queries for which those pages were shown, if that makes sense, okay? And that way you can actually determine very quickly using Google's Webmaster Tools which pages are that are ranking, all right? And then that's how you can determine where your traffic is coming from, just so you guys know. Again, this is a brand new site. Let's see if I've got any other sites in here that might have some data already. Probably not. This one's a brand new site. I just built this site 4 days ago, so it probably, okay, here's an example. This is one of the SEO sites that I'm building for my own business. And if you see like search queries here, this site was only built 4 days ago. And this right here, if you take a look, this is going to show the SEO, the keyword phrases that my site has had pages displayed in the search results. Even if look, this one's showing the average position was 350. So that'd be 35 pages deep into the search results, right? But it doesn't matter. It's starting to show me the keywords that my site is being displayed for. All right. And this is only showing 110 search queries right now. But you'll see that this will quickly rise. I mean, I've got some local sites, guys, that have shown for, several tens of thousands of keyword phrases. And that's interesting because you can actually find keywords that you rank for that you didn't even know that you were ranking for just using Google Webmaster Tools. All right. So for example, if I click over here and click on average position and sort by average position, now you can see SEO on page factors. That's not something I was really targeting with this site, but it showed up in the position number 19. And remember, this site's only 4 days old, guys. It's a lead Gadget site with like 40,000 pages or something like that. As a matter of fact, which one is this? This is beginners. Let's go take a look real quick. That's why, like, I love Google's tools. I try to make Google my friend because I like to make money from Google and I like to use their tools. They're free. So that's why I don't mind using them. I know other people feel differently, and that's fine, but I actually like using their tools. SexySEO.co. Don't you love that domain? All right, so if we take a look, actually, this is showing right now, and this happens right now. It's only showing 5,600 indexed results, and you'll see that bounce around. Obviously, when you first, especially when you first build the site, that'll bounce around a lot. So it's only showing 5,600 indexed pages, and I think this one had, I believe I did zip codes with this one. I can't remember if I did zip codes with this one or not. So it's either 30,000 pages or it's 42,000 pages. It's one of the two. And again, you can see that this is already shown for 110 queries in just 4 days. And these are the keyword phrases that this has started to come up on. That's interesting. It came up for IFTTT SEO Academy. But I just wanted to show you guys, like, Illinois SEO. So as this continues, the site continues to index more of the pages. And also as it just gets some more age to it, we'll start to see this number go way up, the search queries. And we can start to determine which pages are doing the best or performing the best. And then I know, like, personally, I will go in after I see some pages that are getting near page one, and I'll go hit them with some backlinks, guys. Personally, that's what I do. I've got, a ton of backlink solutions and networks and things like that I can use to boost some of these. But that's what I would do, is just hit some of these pages with some backlinks to kind of push them up on the page one when they're close. You know what I mean? So I hope that makes sense. All right. Yeah, Greg says getting similar indexation, actually more with tags too, with just sitemap, no webmaster tools. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, see, Google's going to find your sitemap anyways. Even if you're not submitting it to Webmaster Tools, Google is going to find your sitemap and crawl it. Okay, and they're going to index your links either way. So that's why I like using Webmaster Tools, is because they're going to do this anyways, guys. Whether you give them permission or not, they're going to do this. So why not give yourself the ability to see what they're doing, if that makes sense? You know what I mean? Like, Google's indexing your pages anyways. And they're keeping track of all this data that you're seeing here, whether you know about it or not. So you might as well, in my opinion, go ahead and and see what they're doing, and go ahead and say, look, I want to see the data that you're collecting, so I know what's going on as well, and use it to your advantage. That's my own personal preference, anyways. So Eddie says, why would you use any Google products on these sites? These sites would never pass manual review. Yeah, but so what difference does it make? If they're going to be manually reviewed, they're going to be manually reviewed. It doesn't matter whether you've got analytics or Google Webmaster Tools on them or not. Again, if they're going to get reviewed and get slapped, they're going to get slapped regardless. So my point is why not? And again, guys, don't do it. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm telling you this is what I do, and this is my opinion. Okay. I like to use these tools so I can collect as much data on these sites. My whole point is if I can find particular pockets of traffic and I can identify those, that even if my site does get slapped, I already have the data on where I'm going to be the most successful for the next build, right? Does that make sense? So that's why I like to have as much data as I can on these sites, because even if they end up getting slapped or de-indexed or whatever, I've got the data now to go back and rebuild, specifically targeting those areas that were the most successful in the original build. Does that make sense? So that's why I do it. And again, you guys, I'm not telling you have to do it, but I'm submitting the sitemap to Google, just not with Webmaster Tools. I wonder where you do that. That's interesting, Greg. I didn't know you could submit it to sitemap submit a sitemap without doing it in Webmaster Tools. That's interesting. I've just always done it that way. So Roger says, and how many AdSense accounts? I'm not an AdSense guy, Roger, so I really don't know. I think I've only set up like 3 AdSense sites in my entire career in over 5 years. So honestly, that's something I'm not real familiar with, but I'm sure Brian could answer that. So Roger, that would be a good question to ask Brian, or put in the Facebook group, or I'll ask him and get back to you. Okay. I'll try to get some of these questions answered for you guys. Okay. So with that said, like I said, I wanted to just kind of show you guys with Webmaster Tools and indexing rates. And in fact, if we go back over here and let's use the site colon and take a look at the wholesale.fashionbling.us. Yeah, this page I got 78,000, or this site was 78,300 indexed results from that fashion site that I did last week. So in 7 days, and it's pretty interesting. And some of my other sites that I've been doing this with, like I said, some of the SEO sites. So for example, classes.seonation.net. I was seeing this yesterday. It was something ridiculous. Let's see, maybe if I spelled it properly. Yeah, this one's got 147,000 indexed results, and this one I built several weeks ago. But I think there's only like 40,000 posts on there, and with I guess with the tag pages, I've got 147,000 indexed results. That's pretty interesting. So yeah, I mean, again, and that's what all I'm really doing with these is posting them in the Google Webmaster Tools, and that's about it. Something else that I do is I take the RSS feed, excuse me, from the site, and then I submit that to RSS directories. I've got a piece of software that will do that automatically, so it's real simple for me to just grab the RSS feed and submit it, and that's it. And that's only going to submit the most recent 10 posts, whatever are in the feed. So just for example, if we look at this one, but it helps because it just brings more bots to the site. See, it's just going to show 10. You can set this to show more in the settings inside of WordPress, but I don't care. I put them, do that anyways, and it just brings some, and there's some, RSS directory links that'll come back, some high domain authority links and things like that. So that's something else that I'll do very quickly. Okay. Yeah, I think it does, Greg. The ATM submits sitemaps when you click promote. I'm sure it does. Ping sitemap.com. It's interesting. Cool. Thank you for that, Greg. That's interesting. Like I said, I was unaware of that. I've always just done it right through Webmaster Tools. Something else you guys might not want to overlook. I have not done it yet for any of the Elite Gadget sites in the last several weeks. Is yeah, Roger, I know that it did that too. The promote button, it'll ping it as well. Is Bing. If you guys want to submit your sites to Bing as well, if you want to do it manually through the Bing Webmaster Tools, that will help too. I found that gets the Bing indexing up too, and about a third of the traffic comes through Yahoo and Bing, which are one and the same now. So that's traffic that should not be overlooked, in my opinion, because it is still a third of all traffic, right? Okay. All right, guys. So the next thing I wanted to talk about briefly was the backlinks indexer offer. Like I said, I know that Don is putting, they're working with Dan Anton now to put the ability to use backlinks indexer into the ATM sites, which I think is good because it will allow a steady stream. It'll be it'll be a drip rate, pretty conservative drip rate, but it will bring links back to the site through backlinks indexer kind of at a slow and steady pace, which is actually pretty good because that will show activity. If you guys have not seen backlinks indexer yet, it's a great service. I've been using it for at least 3 years now. I use it for a lot of other stuff as well, but Dan Anton's a good dude. He also came up with the crowdsearch.me. I do kind of want to show the back end of that. I'm not sure how it's going to integrate with I'm not sure how it's going to integrate with Lead Gadget yet, but I know that they were talking about that. So let me just show you what crowdsearch.me looks like. You guys could probably, I know this, you can't get in on the front end of it now, but I know that Brian said they were going to be integrating it. So I'm just curious how they're going to do it. I don't know the details just yet. Pause this. Yeah, okay. So go to crowdsearch.me, guys. You can take a look at the idea of what this thing does, what it does, and it's I've been using it since the beginning of November, so about almost 5 months now, and it's pretty cool. What I've been able to do with it has really helped a lot of my sites, and I do a lot of video SEO stuff too, and it's really helped with that too. And once it's actually integrated into the ATM or in the Lead Gadget, I will do some more in-depth training on how I use it exactly, so you guys can see how to get the most out of this, in my opinion. But like I said, it's a pretty cool technology. What they do is they crowdsource, and I used to do this manually. In other words, with CrowdSearch, they go out and you can set, okay, I want somebody to go search this search phrase, this keyword phrase in Google, and then when the search results come up, then they go find the link that you specify, and then they click on that link. so that it brings it's a click through, right? So it's considered a click through, and it brings them onto your site. Then they dwell on page, or you can direct them to click an internal link. You can do you can direct them to click on a random internal link, or you can direct them to a specific link that you want them to click on, like a contact us page or something like that, right? And so what that does is it keeps it from being counted as a bounce. Okay. So it's pretty powerful, getting improving your click-through rate. It's a pretty powerful way to add some additional positive signals to your site. So crowd search is good for that. And it essentially, he just put together a software, I guess, that brings it. It's supposed to be from microtask workers from around the world that do this. I used to actually hire that out myself through like shorttask.com, Mechanical Turk, microtaskworkers.com. Some of those I used to pay people to do it myself, and I would pay anywhere between 10 to 20 cents per click, and I had significant results. Well, this just kind of automates the whole thing. Okay, it just makes it a hell of a lot easier. And again, I've been messing with this for about 5 months, and it's pretty cool. So for example, like if we were to set up a new campaign here, I would call this, like, let's just say I'm going to use my SEO classes site. So I'm going to say SEO classes, and I'll put LG for lead gadget. And let's just go grab a URL from there. I'm curious. We'll use this one. So SEO classes, Sussex, Wisconsin. Let's go see where that SEO classes. You can see I'm number 2 for that. So let's say that that's what I wanted to do, was target that keyword. So, and this is an exact match keyword search. When you're trying to rank for a specific keyword phrase. It's also really good for branding stuff. I know we'll talk about that. Like I said, we'll go into it in more depth, guys, once it's actually integrated. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what this thing does so that you can see it for yourself and get excited about it. Let me copy this URL. I'm going to take the exact match URL, right? There's also, I'll show you, you can have exact or you can uncheck exact, and it will just click the URL if it sees your root domain. Excuse me. So in other words, if it sees classes.seo.nation.net at all in the search results for that phrase, it'll click on the first link with that instead of just that that specific link. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense or not. So I don't really care. I just want them to click on the site to show a higher click-through rate. All right, and then I can click. And by the way, there's all the different Googles, guys, for all the different countries. I know Sandy, she's in France, so there's google.fr. And a lot of you guys are somewhere other than just the U.S. So there's all the different Google search engines here, or at least a bunch of them. Okay, so it does work in other areas. And click next step, and it'll take a few seconds to read. And it'll come back with some data, and then on the next, when it comes back in just a minute, I'll show you the different options that you can set. It's pretty exciting. I mean, I found this to be very effective. I use this for a lot of stuff now. So, and it's just one more tool that you can add to your toolbox, guys. It'll help. And we'll talk about how and everything else in a minute. Let that thing run for a second. I'll look for some questions. Yeah, Gonti says, crowd search is closed to the public. It is now, but it will be integrated into Lead Gadget, as far as I know. We talked about that the other day, and I think we're working on trying to get it integrated into our sites. Okay, so is it any different than Certify Me? I've never heard of that, Greg. You're coming up with all these cool things today I haven't heard of. So I'll check that out too. That's interesting, Greg. I'll take a look into this and get back with you. That's interesting. It's always good to know of additional sources for this kind of stuff. So crowdsourced traffic exchange solution. Very cool. I'll take a look at that. Thank you. All right, guys. So look, this came back, and you can see that now there's internal browsing. You can turn that on or off if you'd like. Bounce back, which is interesting, because bounce back means it will go and click on other people's links before it clicks on yours, and then just do a bounce. In other words, they'll click on your competitors' links and then click the back button immediately, so it counts as a bounce. Not exactly the nicest thing to do in the world, but it's there if you want to keep it on. There's random browsing, which means if somebody will click on any once they've clicked onto the site, they'll click any link on internal link on the site. Okay. Or you can turn that off. If you turn that off, then you can specify which links you want them to click through to, which is good for like local stuff to click through, like the contact page, things like that. That shows good signals. So that's why you'd want to do that. Something else, if you're using if you're using this for YouTube videos, you can turn off random browsing and put the link to the offer in your video description, right? You know, you always put the link in the description of your YouTube video to your money site or to your offer. So you can turn off random browsing and put that link there, and that'll show a click-through or referral traffic from YouTube to your offer, right? Does that make sense? Social sharing, if you turn that on, you can do tweets and favorites or retweets and favorites if you want to do that. And then you can set your search boost per day and minutes spent on visit. So you can set your dwell time, okay? And then you just click save. And that's it. So this is actually really good for helping the click-through rates and stuff, guys. And they'll go back, I think, 10 pages deep to find your link. So if we go back over here and look at the Webmaster Tools again, I talked about how if you find some pages that are starting to show up, you know, in the top 100, which would be the top 10 pages, and you want to start pushing those up, one thing I do is I'll send backlinks to them or some social signals. Usually it's a mix of both. And also you can set up some sort of click-through campaign, which will also help to push those up because it's going to show traffic and activity. And that will bring you back up or bring you up further in the search results, kind of a mixture of all three. So just so you know, that's what I do. Like I said, I have a lot of these tools at my disposal, but you guys will too. That's what I'm saying. We're going to have this. This is supposed to be integrated at some point soon, hopefully. So, all right. I hope that made sense. Let's see. When you say effective, Eddie says, please clarify ranking higher or traffic. Well, ranking higher, which causes more traffic. It's cause and effect, right? Eddie, when I'm saying it's been very effective, it means I've been able to push some of my properties up higher, whether it's websites, Web2s, or YouTube videos, right? So if I've got, like, it works particularly well with YouTube videos, and that's what I do a lot of video SEO stuff. So that's what most of my campaigns are running for. However, also like if you have private blog network sites, if you have it search and find your private blog network sites and the post there, and then have it click through when you direct the internal linking from random browsing, you put the URL from your private blog network site to your money site. Now you're showing referral traffic from that PBN site, right? And it will increase the power of that link because there's traffic from that link. And again, this is more other SEO stuff that's not necessarily related to Lead Gadget. So I don't want to get too deep into that, guys. But when I say it's effective, I mean, it's been able to help me to push things up that I've had difficulty. You know, it's just an added tool to help me rank things. Once things are ranked higher, it's going to naturally get more traffic anyways. And more traffic is also a positive ranking signal, right? So it's kind of a snowball. Like first you get it to rank higher, then it gets more traffic. Then the additional traffic helps to keep it rank higher. Does that make sense? So long as there's not a big bounce rate. All right. Watch out for the negative SEO karma police. Yes, Andy, exactly. I don't negative SEO anybody. Just personal preference. I don't like to do it. Karma is a bitch. Roger says, how many AdSense accounts? Question was related to your Google Analytics number of accounts. And how many AdSense accounts? Question was related to your Google Analytics number of accounts. I'm not sure I understand that. You're saying AdSense here and Analytics here. As far, Roger, if you could clarify, I'm not really following the question. As far as, like I said, with the Google stuff, guys, I don't put more than 3 to 5 sites in any one Google account, period. And that includes Webmaster Tools and Analytics. And again, I'm not an AdSense guy. I've only done probably 3 AdSense sites in my entire career. So I really can't answer any questions about AdSense. I just don't know. Okay. But if you can clarify that question, I'll try to answer it for you. Greg says, haha, that bounce back could be self-defeating if we have multiple Lead Gadget sites in the search for the same keywords. Yeah, exactly. Greg, it's a good thing there's a switch there that you can turn it off, right? But yeah, exactly. You know, you could end up punishing yourself. So, okay, guys, the next thing I guess was those are the offers that I wanted to talk about that Brian has brought back. I know there's also another one here that the phone systems, that's probably going to be the next site that I build. I'm trying to build a site for every offer, although I know within the next couple of weeks there's going to be a load of new offers, so I probably will not be able to keep up with that goal of building a new site for each offer. Because in my opinion, why not? Is once I find some winning offers that are just really producing very well for me, then I'll just like, do 10, 15 sites in that particular for that offer. And I'm trying to help you guys out with this as well by building the sites to just give you something as a benchmark. And again, I'm learning as I go too, but each one of these are getting better and better in my opinion, each one of these site builds. Oh, and I do want to show you the other thing, guys, that I found. There's a tool that I found. It's actually a tool supposed to be used for identifying or for YouTube ads. Okay, so AdWords for videos. It's a tool that I use for that. I've been dabbling with YouTube ads recently. Paid ads for YouTube. I've been playing with that a little bit for the last couple months, and I found a tool that will help you to identify videos based around keywords and things like that you can use to build your ad groups inside your targeting groups inside of AdWords. Now, again, this has nothing to do with Lead Gadget, except that I found that the tool can very, very quickly scrape videos for a particular keyword and put them into a CSV file so that you can give you all of the URLs for the videos that YouTube returns for that particular keyword, which means you can set up a spin code for the keyword, for the video URLs very, very quickly and easily with next to no work at all, and have targeted videos on your page. So for example, if you take a look at this, let's go back to here. I was able to scrape 800 videos. It was like 700 and something. It was close to 800 videos for the rehab site by just targeting rehab centers or drug rehab, I think it was, that I targeted with the tool. And I'm going to show you the tool in a minute. It was only $27 a couple weeks ago when I bought it. I bought it for YouTube ads, but I realized just the other day when I was building this site that I could use it for this. And it's really, really cool because it does it fast. So I put, after I went through the CSV file, when I got it back, I tried to remove, like this one apparently says San Antonio on it, but I went through the CSV file and deleted most of the videos that had a particular city in the title, because this is on San Antonio on a page for Brewster, Kansas. So I tried to delete. Obviously I missed a couple of them, but it's not a big deal. I ended up with, out of 800 videos, I ended up with just over 500 videos, URLs in a CSV file that I was able to just spin together very quickly and add a short code on the ATM for it. And so if you guys remember last week or a couple weeks ago, I showed you about how to, let me show you this, how to use the Viper's video quick tags. And it comes out like this, YouTube. Then you would do short code here. And then you do the closing YouTube tag. Just like that. And you insert that in your content. Obviously, you make your own custom short code or short code. I don't want you to get confused with custom lists, but you can make your own short code with the video URLs here. Then you put this in the content when you do the build. And then once the site is completed, you install the Viper Videos Quick Tags plugin and activate it, and all of a sudden all these videos will come up. And I was able to do that very quickly. So let me find find this real quick, because I've got to find the actual link. Let's see, createautomate.com. The guy that made this is called createautomate.com, and it's called Y Spy is the name of the. I'm looking for the link. Createautomate.com. That is it. Okay, this is it here, guys. Like I said, it was $27. Yeah, it's still $27. It's a great price for the amount. I mean, the first couple video sites that I had done for my SEO business, I had actually gone and scraped all the videos myself, like all the URLs myself from my playlists and everything for the SEO sites that I'm doing. But it's very time consuming. So when I just thought about this the other day, and I was like, wait a minute, I got this tool that will do this for me. And for the $27, the amount of time it saved me, it's absolutely worth it, guys. So anyways, I'm just going to point this out for those of you that are trying to add videos to your pages. I think it's a valuable thing to do. So I'm going to post this on the page. You guys can check that out if you'd like. And this is not an affiliate link. So, okay. So can you please put the link to the product? Yeah, I did. It's on the, it'll show up on the page here in just a moment, guys, but that's what it's called. It's createautomate.com. If you go there, you just click on products and you can check the Y Spy video research tool. And it's really, really cool. Cause like I said, all you got to do is, in fact, I'll just do a very quick demonstration on this. It's a real simple tool. I mean, it's not like complicated or anything. So you just enter your keyword in here and then you click go. And all it does is it goes out and scrapes for all those keywords. So like I did drug rehab the other day, but let's say I just did SEO tutorial, something like that. So all it does, see, it's going to go out and it's going to find every one of the pages, and it's showing 660,000 results. And you see now it's going to page 2. Just a second, it's going to go to page 3. And all it's doing is it's scraping all of the URLs from each one of these videos and putting them into a CSV file. So it'll go through here, and I think it goes to like, I can't remember. It went to something like 49 pages or something, and then that's when it stops. And so it gives you, it ended up with, it was just under 800 videos URLs, and you can see it's already on page 7. And so once it's done, it'll tell you where you can find the file that has all of the URLs. If we go over here, I can show you right here. Right now it is SEO tutorials. That's this file right here, and it's building right now as we're speaking. It's adding to that file right there. Okay, so really, really cool. So in fact, if I come over here and hit stop, and then I open this up, you'll see that it's got the URLs right here in this column. Right here is the title of the video, and it gives you the view count, how old it is, all of that. I don't care about any of this. All I care about is taking a look at the title. That way I can go through and delete the ones that I don't want, because I don't want certain keywords or location information or whatever. But here's all the URLs. You can see right there, there's 200, and I stopped it, but it's 240 URLs that it just scraped in that amount of time that I had that software, that I was showing that to you guys. So very, very cool. The amount of time it will save you is totally worth it, in my opinion. Windows only? I don't know, guys. Videoswiper.com is also a great tool. Thanks, Eddie. I'll check that out. That's pretty cool. I'll check that out. Thank you for that, guys. Anytime you guys have tool recommendations, please let me know. I'm all about checking out new tools and stuff. So, okay, guys. If there's any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and answer them. I know it's kind of a little bit short today, but we had some technical issues, and I do have some other engagements I have to get to. And sorry, I didn't have more information on the other offer yet, the phone systems offer, but I'm going to find out more about that as well. And probably do another test or another build on that, or a build on that as well within the next week. So next week I'll have some more information on that. Okay. If you guys have any other questions, I'll hang around for just another couple minutes. Jerome says, I'm having a problem with entering short codes. I first tried to do a local build, but when I went to deploy, I got an error. Was not an apostrophe error. Jerome, that's a good question. I'm not sure. Probably I'd have to see what it is that you're doing in order to see if I could help with the custom. I'm assuming you're talking about the custom list is giving you an error, or is it because you're saying you're having trouble entering short codes? I don't know. It's going to depend. Is it a regular short code that's giving you the trouble, or is it your custom lists? And if so, I'd have to know more about your project particularly. So I guess you'd have to contact me. I could take a look for you possibly. We could set up maybe a quick hangout or something, you and I, where I can see what it is that you're doing, so I can see the back end of your Lead Gadget site and see what, the ATM, in other words, and see what it is that you've done. I might be able to pinpoint it for you very quickly. I don't know. I'd have to take a look, Jerome. So hit me up. Just connect with me here on Google Plus, or I prefer Google Plus over Facebook any day of the week, guys. So, but Jerome, yeah, hit me up and or drop me a message in Facebook, and I'll reach out to you, and we'll get it straight. Ganti says, do you need proxies for the search? It says you do if you're doing a ton of them, but I haven't added any proxies to this yet, Ganti, and I do, because I've only, I'll do one search at a time. It scrapes back 800 URLs, and then I'm done. and then I don't open it again for a while. So, I haven't added any proxies yet. If you're going to be using it a hell of a lot, you probably should. And I don't know. I guess there's proxies for it right there. So anyways. So, okay, guys. Well, it looks like we're wrapping up. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this down for now, guys. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties earlier. Next week, we're going to have another one, same day, but it'll be in the evening again. So it'll be 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So 12 hours from when this one was today. And then I'll get the events page up within the next few days. If you guys have any questions ahead of time, post them on the events page. And I'll try to get them answered. In fact, if you have questions ahead of time and post them, it'll give me the ability to prepare for your questions. So if I have something that I don't understand or I don't know, I can get the answers to you so that by the time we have the actual webinar, I'll have the answer for you that would help me out. Because remember, I'm learning this system as I go too. So anyways, thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you guys next week.